Illegitimate non-carborundum. So I started making videos for the YouTube because it's cheaper than therapy and it might be about as effective. I used to see a doctor who you'd talk to who would make you feel better about things you were thinking and feeling. Only it was kind of a funny situation because she didn't have an office like you would think a doctor like that would. She just had, well, it was kind of a plywood stand on a sidewalk, and she had a little flip sign that would say the doctor was in or the doctor was out. But when she was there, when the doctor was in, that was, she only charged 5 cents for a session. And that's not too much money, so I could save that up and see her every 2 or 3 weeks. Thing was, though, she was kind of mean, if I'm honest about it. She would call me blockhead and just be kind of generally abusive. So that seemed odd at first. But after a while, well, turns out I was actually kind of into that, so that didn't bother me too much. So I would keep seeing her, like I said, every 2 or 3 weeks, whenever I could scrounge a nickel. See, I don't make a whole lot of money, but I could afford that, every now and then. So I would go and, I would talk to her, and then she would think I was just being stupid or something, so she would be mean and abusive. It's not like seemed like she was trying to help me get better or anything. But like I said, I actually kind of liked the abuse, so I stuck with it. Until one day I was going to see her because, I had a nickel that was burning a hole in my pocket. Well, the police were there and they were shutting her down because it turned out she didn't actually have a, degree to practice the kind of thing that she was doing. And, well, I wasn't going to get involved in that situation. I mean, I tried to avoid the police after that incident in Boise. Yeah, Boise. Yeah. Now, there's a town that just really doesn't understand the kind of love that can exist between a man and a ring-tailed lemur, if you know what I mean. So after she got shut down by, the police, I had to go find something else. I was looking for, maybe there was another, lady I could talk to who, might offer me the same kind of abuse I was used to getting from the old one. But then I found out that the ladies who advertise that they'll abuse you, well, they charge a lot more than a nickel. So I couldn't really afford to see them. So I told my problem to a friend of mine. He said, well, hey, if you just need to talk about stuff and you want to get some abuse, then you should go on the internet. Because there's all sorts of people who will say nasty stuff about you on the internet, and that's free. I was like, well, gee, thanks, buddy. I can afford free, so yeah, that sounds like a pretty sweet deal. So we'll see how that goes. And, maybe if I keep making these videos for the YouTube and they become like a big hit or something, and, I start making some money more than a nickel, because I know a nickel's, not enough for what I want. But, if I make some real money, then maybe I can go see one of those ladies who advertises that she'll be abusive to you. And I can see if that professional touch really makes a difference. So here's hoping. Oh, and furthermore, Carthago delenda est.